It's Sunday the 18th of August. It's roughly day 77. It's hard to say because we do get a lot of other people working for us. As you can see here, this is all loads of hay. And I don't know if you can see, but it runs all the way across this field here. What I've just been doing is trying to spread it out so that it rots down on the field over the next, well, we don't know, but we have to get rid of these big lumps and try and spread it out so it's, you know, a bit more like that, and then it will rain and it will kind of rot down, we hope. And all this that you can see here, all this, I'm going to just keep walking. This is 40% roughly of the hay that we got out of the barn. We had a huge piles down there and we had another big pile up here. Brunow's mum Anna spread this out, I think on Friday when they came. And then this tree is, that's three trees, some of 3 trees that we cut down from the front yard. That's just for the bonfire. All the big pieces of trunk we got onto the truck. I don't know if you can see, but that truck is full with the trunks, which are going to be driven over to Brunow's dad. This is all the sort of junk that we're still trying to clear out. There's lots of junk in there. There's several sheds that we haven't even managed to start on yet. At the back of that shed there's piles of things like, there's still some asbestos there. We've still got plenty of asbestos to take off the roof as well. We have a pile of just rotten, horrible wood there. It used to be a massive pile. We managed to burn through it in the next few weeks in our fire pit there. This is another one of the junk piles that we inherited when we bought the property. We'll deal with that when we can because it's not really a priority now. That used to be a platform for a tent for Sardo when he came to help us for a couple of weeks. That's our hand washing station, and now it's just me and Bruno. We hang out just outside of the van here. Toilet shed and kind of, well, that's the chicken shed. It used to be the chicken shed, and now we've just got an OSB board there and a fridge and a toaster and a kettle, and that's kind of like a backup kitchen. It was definitely the crew kitchen when we had a lot more people helping us and I couldn't manage all of the cooking in the camper van. This is our cute shower. Bathroom, basically. That's okay on a warm day because the water gets heated up by the sun in the very long hose. These 2 ugly sheds over there, we're not going to be able to deal with that for a long time. So that's this end of the barn. The floor's gone in about the last third. So we've only really cleared the hay up to the new roof line. And the reason why we've done that is because there was a wall, I don't know, somewhere just a bit further in. I'm going to go there now. And we needed to take down the top half of it to replace it with a wooden wall. This is some of the wood from the 2 front trees that we had to move to be able to get the a space for the sewage pit. It's a complete void in here. Bruno's still reinforcing those beams with his friend Sardo. These beams over here are trickier because, oh god, he scared me, because that has to go around the chimney, and obviously there's something got to happen there. Nothing can touch the chimney. The chimney has to be a separate building of its own. You can't attach things to it, you can't attach walls to it and things like that. Yesterday I did have a bit of a tidy up in here, even though it looks a god-awful mess. It was a worse mess before, and we have a fire delivery tomorrow, the metal fireplace that attaches to the chimney for the apartment end. This is what we call mixed rubbish. That's over €70 to dispose of per cubic metre. So we've got the concrete concrete mixer. This is equipment that goes with the scaffold material, which will have to go back in a few weeks, as soon as possible, because we have to rent it. This is the bits that fit on the bottom of the chimney. That's where the chimney sweep cleans. That's the top of the chimney, so that will get built in either tomorrow or the next day. This is some new pipework that we found, so we're leaving that there in case the plumber might be able to use it. Tools, batteries to recycle, more batteries to recycle, mull, which is what you call rubbish here. These are old paint cans that we use to collect metal nails and things into. That's the glass recycling. And this is a mixture of mostly masks and paper bags and tarpaulins, and that's an asbestos bag. You buy the bag, it's 20 euros, and then you put it onto the back of your truck, and then asbestos is very heavy, so you lift each piece of asbestos into it with your mask on, and then you take it to the tip, and then you have to book in advance, I think, and a guy comes in a forklift truck and lifts it off for you. This is the foul understairs thing. I mean, from the left hand side of that door to this wall here is going to end up being the pantry for the new house, and so the pantry for the new house will have the apartment chimney part into it. It's never intended to be two separate living spaces. It's going to have one water system, one heating system, one electricity system. It's just that this apartment end is for friends and family and guests. Today I did fill in a little bit more of this. That's the new water meter, and it's now got, so that's the main meter, and that's the garden water meter. We've only ever used garden water so far, and that's not counted towards the sewage pit disposal cost, which is a lot more. So you either pay for water or you pay for water and disposal. And so these two trees, I'll go closer. So we got all of the wood from the front garden today onto the truck, and that trunk is just going to be left until we have time to do something with that. But now we've got the opportunity. We took the fence down as well. There was a tree there, and there was a tree there, and this area here is where the sewage pit will go, because then the truck can pull up at the front, and I don't think they come inside of your property anymore. And we don't want that anyway, because it would run over, the truck would run over where we eventually want to have our back garden. So Bruno's on there. Hey Bruno, what are you doing?
Hey, sweetie.
What are you doing?
Making a way for Eric.
Okay, right. So yeah,
Get up and down because we have to bring all the material up here.
yeah, Eric, I'm gonna be at home in our other place tomorrow working, because it's a very busy time at work for me at the moment. It's essentially the end of last week was the product send out, but I think they're actually going out tomorrow. Anyway, so very, very busy time for me. Eric's got a place to perch up there to build the chimney now, and I can't wait for the fireplace to come tomorrow. So yeah, that's the loft that we'll be living in this winter. We'll just be living in a construction site. We won't bring too many of our belongings with us. We might be able to have a day or two off once we've moved in. Yeah, so we've got construction electricity box. So these are some of the costs that cost a lot. Like that, renting that costs quite a bit every week or month. Renting the scaffold, of course, costs money to rent. Things we've bought, of course, like all the roof materials, that was a good deal of money. And the ship pit's going to be a huge expense. The plumbing in the apartment end first is going to be a huge expense. Eventually the electrical work, eventually the kitchen and bathroom. But before all that, we've got to install underfloor heating. And before all that, we've got to do the horizontal waterproofing. And that's why I haven't filled up this hole or the other one in there, because it might be needed. I don't want to have to dig it out again, and we have to dig a trench all the way around the outside of the front part of the building to put in horizontal waterproofing. And horizontal waterproofing is essentially needed because the house has rising damp due to it not actually having a proper foundation. We're pretty sure that this, what we call the mudroom or the hallway, sort of, it's going to be a utility room essentially. Not a messy one, a kind of a clean utility room with maybe a couple of cupboards here and here to hide the water meter and probably the electricity meter eventually. I'll make that window much smaller, have some built-in cupboards for meters, coats, hats, things like that. And there'll be 2 doors there instead of 1 on that wall. One into the apartment at the front and one into the main house eventually at the back. We won't be building the main house for, well, I think essentially we might take most of next summer off. Just take it easy a bit because this one's been rough. Pretty rough. Well, rough in terms of hard work. Found this odd single bed and most of the wood in there is eaten by a worm. I don't know if it's possible to save it, but I thought it was kind of cute and I might strip it down and turn it into a kid's bed in the guest area. Definitely some of that needs to be replaced, but maybe the ends are usable. Strip it down, paint it in a light colour, and then maybe either put some, probably some stencils on it. Nothing really involved, it's not worth spending that much time on, but yeah, just some cute baby stuff for Brunow's nephews. Well, one of them is about 2.5 now and the other one is less than 6 months old. Oh, we've got some tomatoes. So these come out. Oh, we've got really, that's just like, that's a massive, look at that, that's my hand. Look how big that is. Yeah, I've got some really nice sunflowers now that Anna planted, Bruno's mum. Isn't that nice? And then we've got Felix, Bruno's work colleague, gave us a raspberry. No, hang on a minute. Right, is it raspberry? I can't remember now. Guess we'll know later. And that got strummed down by Bruno's dad, but it's coming good again now, although I think it might have been eaten a little bit by some slugs. That's rhubarb and some other berries. That's actually not growing on our land, I think. I think that's the farmer's land. So, it's not going to be a really hard working day today because there's not all that much kind of rubbish removal and cleaning work for me to do. And so, yeah, I've just been helping out Bruno whenever I can. This is Bruno's dad's job, cutting all the wood. They came over one day and said, oh, we did the job you told us to, and then we were a bit disappointed because there wasn't much else to do. And I said, oh, don't worry, there's loads to do, and put it all on a spreadsheet in German and English so they can read it. And now they come over quite regularly and they do know what needs to be done and they help us out, which is really nice because sometimes it's quite overwhelming. Oh, and I've just ordered some new work boots, S3 safety boots, because these came from a supermarket and were €8 and they absolutely murder my left foot. I don't know what is wrong with the one on the left, but it hurts a lot. I'm hoping that I can sneak quite a lot of this stuff into the bin when Bruno's not looking. Those shouldn't be there. Oh, Bruni. Okay, that's it. That's the update.